Hello, hello, hello. How the hell are we tonight? How are we tonight? Guys, yes, I kept the Christmas intro music because you know what? Up until New Year's Day, it's still the Christmas season. We all know it. We're in that weird week where, oh, well, technically it's still the holiday season. But anyway, how we doing? What's up, Jason? What's up, Catman? What's up, Marcel? What's up, John? Jason, my friend. I don't know if he's going to be here or not. That's the thing. So he said he's running behind at work and he'd reach out to me. So I was like, well, let's get it started anyway because with my kids' schedule, this is when I was going to be able to do the stream. So I'm doing it, and hopefully, he can pop in. What's up, Danny? How you doing, man? What's up, Norin? First of all, I just want to say to everybody, because this is my first live since a little over a week ago, I believe. I hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, I hope it was fantastic. I hope you guys got some damn cool presents. I know you guys saw the video that I posted last night of some of the things I got. And one of them being this Follow Your Dreams Freddy Krueger shirt. Yeah. Thanks for the compliments on the mic. How's it sound, guys? Do I sound like I'm on old time radio? How are we coming in? I want to say, I hope you guys have had a great holiday season so far. No matter what holiday you're celebrating or celebrated, I hope it was fantastic. And I hope you guys have some plans, big plans for the new year. Resolutions, things you want to do on New Year's Eve. How are you going to celebrate New Year's Eve? Me myself, I don't know yet. Knowing me, I'll probably be the boring adult that has a few drinks, watches the ball drop, and goes to bed. It's not as much of an event as it used to be when I was a kid. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it seems like it always used to be a bigger deal than it is now. You're just like, wow, it's another year. Tomorrow is going to be the same as today. There's just going to be a different number at the end of the date. So, it is what it is. But if you guys have plans, I hope it's great for everyone that has plans for New Year's Eve. As you can tell by the title of the video, today we're going to be talking about the best of 2021. And that is just really film, TV, anything and everything that you guys saw, that I saw throughout 2021 that we think is fantastic. And then we're also going to address some of the bad. Yes, I know. God, I'm such a bummer. We're going to address some of the bad. And it's because there's some bad. There's some bad, and we got to talk about that as well. But first and foremost, for everybody piling in here now, what's up, Sean? That is awesome, man. I wish you the best. I hope you do get married. That sounds cool. I can relate. Yeah. Oh, nice. Well, happy early birthday to him, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So I'm sure a lot of you guys got movies, right? I mean, come on, Christmas, you got movies. I'm sure a lot of you got some movies. What movies did you guys get? Were any of them 2021 movies? Some that might make this, a list of yours. Now, again, this is more of a free-flowing discussion. It's not going to necessarily be this is the top whatever of 2021 in whatever order. No, it's really just going to be, we're going to talk about some great things that came out in 2021, and we're going to talk about some not so great things that came out in 2021. And, everything in the middle. And this is going to be back and forth with you guys. I want to let you guys know, Jason, since you're in here now, I'll announce it to everybody. The week that Scream 2022 comes out, we are going to have JDev TV, aka Jason. He's going to be on the stream with us, and we're going to talk about Scream. We're going to talk all about it. We'll probably block off about 2 hours. We're going to talk about the movies. We're going to talk about the characters. We're going to break it up in different sections. It's going to be a great live stream. If memory serves, I believe that's going to be Monday, January 10th at 6 p.m. Eastern. So mark your calendars for that, guys. That'll be really cool. You guys will get to see Jason in the flesh. If you guys have not checked out his channel, JDev TV, check him out. He is a Scream guy. Loves Scream. I love Scream. Justin loves Scream. Scream's about to come out. We're going to talk Scream. Scream. Yes. Yes, exactly. So without further ado, we're going to go and we're going to go ahead and throw out the first movie of 2021 that I want to talk about to you guys. All right, you ready? You ready? So the first movie of 2021 that I want to talk about is Malignant. Now, it's not because I think Malignant is the film of the year or anything like that. No. It's simply because this movie created a lot of chatter. Chatter that I feel like is good for the genre in general, whether people were fans of it, whether it was positive or negative chatter, it created chatter. And chatter, in any sense, I mean, it's just like publicity, media coverage, whatever it may be. Any talk, any publicity is good. Publicity. I'm fumbling over my words today. Those are some sick pickups, man. I've not seen Old either, but Malignant. What did you guys think of Malignant? This is a movie that is going to land on the, on a unofficial list of some of the better movies of 2021, in my opinion, at least that I've seen. A lot of these are going to be horror. I try to keep it more like that. There will be some that aren't. But I thought Malignant was really, really good because I thought it was just so original. Now, and Norin, to your point, I totally understand the tonal shifts when it comes to Malignant. See, the first half of the movie really takes you down a path that you're kind of interested in going, but you're not really understanding what this is building to entirely. And then, you get to the midway point or so, and when it all gets flipped on its head, you're like, okay, this is badass, but I don't know if we necessarily needed the kind of throw me off beginning there. For better or worse, whatever your thoughts are on that, I can totally understand the tonal shifts with Malignant. For me, Malignant was just I just think underappreciated by a lot of people and so original and so really, really stood out. You thought you were going to get your typical James Wan kind of, supernatural paranormal horror film. And it wasn't that at all. So for better or worse, I really, really enjoyed Malignant. And, a lot of you guys are sounding off in the chat right now about your thoughts on Malignant as well. Wherever you land, no matter what side of the fence you land on with Malignant, I just hope that, you guys watched it and you supported that film because I really did appreciate that movie. So it's definitely one of my favorite ones of 2021. Bobby asks a hidden gem of 2021. That is a damn good question. I'd have to think about that for a minute. And if any of you guys in the chat know, of a movie that you feel like didn't get talked about a lot or as much as it should have in this, past year, absolutely sound off in the chat and let me know. I'm going to have to think about that. Give me a few and I'll give you what I think is a hidden gem of 2021. If I can think of one. 22. Okay. Mainstream with Andrew Garfield. Pretty decent. Oh yeah, I have not seen that. So, we talked about Malignant. Now let's address Candyman. Another movie that makes it on my unofficial list of top films of 2021 because I felt like it took an older story and concept and really modernized it in a really cool way where it felt fresh and it felt exciting and it felt like there was genuine effort and care put behind it. And I just thought that it came out really well. A lot of times, as you guys know, if you make a sequel to an older property like that, sometimes, you can really fumble the ball. And I just didn't think, I thought they did it. I thought they did it well, really well. I really enjoyed Candyman. See, Jason, I have not seen The Tomorrow War. I have not seen that. So But I've heard good things. I definitely have from the people that saw it. But I just, for me, I really, really liked the modern take on Candyman. And again, for anybody that hasn't seen it, I've talked about that movie extensively on my channel. I was a big fan of it. The 4K release looks and sounds fantastic. And check it out if you guys haven't already. T. Parker Evans in the chat with a one that's going to ruffle some feathers. Hidden gem of 2021 is Wrong Turn. Now, before everybody gives their opinions on it, because I know there's going to be some strong opinions about Wrong Turn, I didn't hate it at all. I saw it. I had Christian actually give me the digital code for it because we were talking about it one night, and I was like, I haven't seen it. He's like, here, I got a digital code. I'll just give it to you. I'm like, all right, cool. And I didn't hate it. The only thing about Wrong Turn that I felt like was problematic was the I guess you would say how the film presented itself as a Wrong Turn remake that's not really the same origin story at all. The group of people do not have the same motives or end goal. They're not these backwoods cannibals, stuff like that. So it was definitely a different take. I feel like it almost should have been named something else, in my opinion, because it didn't really feel like a Wrong Turn movie, so to speak. But I thought as a film overall, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But again, it's going to get hampered and weighed down because of the name. So I totally get that. So yeah, but again, Candyman definitely is one of my favorites of 2021. I absolutely loved. I loved that film. Loved that film. And I'm sure a lot of you guys did too. I'm sure some of you hated it. I'm sure some of you were indifferent on it. But again, another movie that got people talking. And I felt like that was very important. Anytime a movie can make people talk about said movie is a good thing. So that's another one. Let's see. Oh, Jay, first and foremost, thank you, JDev, for the very generous super chat. Thanks for all the hard work and great content this year. Hey, look, this was a big year for the channel, guys. I want to just put that in perspective for everyone. This year, we are closing in on 1,000 subscribers gained in the past 12 months, just in this calendar year. That's super cool to me because I didn't start taking the channel really super seriously until this year. It was more just a hobby every few months or few years sometimes, ever since 2009. And actually, it was 2010. And, this year is really when I started to put the time and the effort into it. And we're really starting to see returns on that. I've met some absolutely fantastic people through this channel. So no need to thank me, Jason. Thank you, especially for being as generous and gracious as you are and always tuning into these things and always supporting my channel in every way you can and supporting me as a person. It means a lot to me. Every single one of you guys. I mean, I couldn't do this without you guys. I wouldn't do this without you guys because I'd just be talking to myself. So I really, really, truly appreciate it. I'm very excited for what next year is going to bring. We're gonna look to cross that 2,000 subscriber break through the 2,000 subscriber ceiling and hopefully just keep going up. So I really appreciate that, man. Let's see. So T. Parker Evans, that's the next movie I want to talk about. We got to talk about it, guys. It came out last year. A lot of people talked about it, good and bad, but a lot of people talked about it. And that is none other than Halloween Kills, Pumpkin Pies Tonight, Evil Dies Tonight. Halloween Kills. Another movie, it definitely, I believe, made it into my list of top 10, I believe, of 2021. Though it's definitely not as high as I would have liked it to be. Being the Halloween fanatic that I am, I mean, look at the damn wall behind me. Being the Halloween fanatic that I am, I really, really, looking back on it now, I wish it would have been my number one of 2021, but it just wasn't. I enjoyed the movie. I really did. It has its merits. And I think it's a solid movie. I don't have like major gripes about it. It's not a movie that it's not Halloween Resurrection or anything like that. But after sitting on it a while, I'm just kind of like, oh, it's middle of the road for me for a Halloween movie. And, maybe that's the standard now. I guess. Maybe it's a little unfair for me as a Halloween fan or any of us as Halloween fans to think that we're ever going to reach the the pinnacle of and the peak of the original Halloween or Halloween 3 or Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 for me. Came out of nowhere. I mean, just you don't see movies, especially in long running franchises like this, do that anymore. So Halloween Kills. I liked Halloween Kills. I liked Halloween Kills quite a bit. But 2021 had some bangers of movies. But what'd you guys think? What did you guys think of Halloween Kills? Would it make a top 10 list for you of top 10 movies of 2021? Would it just be outside the list? Let me know down below. Would it make your top 10 worst? 10 worst? I wouldn't go that far. But Halloween Kills is one. Let's see. What's some other horror? Oh, yes. Quiet Place Part 2. I didn't talk about this. I didn't talk about this when I did my, top 10 of 2021 list video. I believe I did a few weeks ago on my channel. And I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at my list and see if it could fit in there because guys, I'm just going to tell you, shooting from the hip. I think that A Quiet Place Part 2 is better than the first movie. I really do. I think that A Quiet Place Part 2 is actually pretty freaking great. They're movies that both movies, and I mean, I feel like they get a little bit too much hype on social media. I do think that there's and part of that is just John Krasinski's involvement. I totally understand that. The Office, and he's acquitted himself very well as a filmmaker up to this point as well. So I can't hate there at all. I love John Krasinski. But it was a really good movie. It really was a good movie. I really liked A Quiet Place Part 2. I was surprised with how much I liked it. And I want to know what you guys thought about it. I really do, because that was a damn good movie for me. There's a debate around The Christmas Story being an iconic movie. It airs on 2 networks for 24 hours on Christmas. Thoughts? A Christmas Story is it is a classic. It is, a yearly tradition type movie for a lot of people. But for me, I've never really been able to get into it all that much. We watched it again this Christmas season, my wife and I, about a week ago, leading up to Christmas. And, it's not bad. It's just not my cup of tea. If I'm going to choose to watch a Christmas movie, the ones that I'm going to go for are not A Christmas Story. I'm going to go for The Grinch. I'm going to go for Christmas Vacation. I'm going to go for Elf. I'm going to do stuff like that. She loves it though. But yeah, I definitely think it is iconic in its own right, for sure. That is a damn good list. Oh, wow. The Tomorrow War was your number 1, Jason? Man. Yep. Quiet Place Part 2 got some love in there. So, and I see in your list here, Jason, and I haven't seen this yet, but I just want to say to you guys, I know the internet has been buzzing lately, buzzing about the Matrix Resurrections. And I don't mean that as all good. I have seen some polar opposite takes of this movie. I have seen quite a I don't know what you would call it. Just there's some discourse for this movie. There's people that loved it and there's people that hated it and just despise its existence. Again, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen Reloaded or Revolutions in at least 10 years. So I would have to rewatch the 3 movies before I saw it. And I'm sure I will get around to seeing it. But man, a lot of people did not like it. What's up, Jason Phelps? How you doing? I have not seen Last Night in Soho yet. I know. It was a movie I was interested in seeing, but I didn't go see it in the theater. And I believe it's out now on if I'm not mistaken, at least on VOD. So I will check that out. Let's see. So, but I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are on The Matrix Resurrections. If you have seen it, Jason really liked it. And that's good, man. I'm glad. For me, another movie of 2021 that I absolutely love, got the 4K for Christmas, watched it again last night for the second time. I had only seen it the opening night in the theater. So this was my second go around with it. And that was No Time to Die. Um, oh man, I loved No Time to Die. And I watched it again last night and was just immersed in everything that movie is. Um, and it still tugged on my heartstrings at the end. You know, even though I knew everything that was going to happen, it still made me emotional again. God, it's such a poignant, beautiful movie. No Time to Die is fantastic. If you guys have not seen No Time to Die, what are you doing? You know, get around to watching that. It is so good. It is so good. I loved it. I loved it. Hey, what's up, crying? And thank you. Yes, the best of 2021 was the comeback of this channel. Yes, back like I never left, huh? Um, but yeah, No Time to Die was fantastic. Sean Sheridan gives a shout out to Stillwater. I'm familiar with it. Did not see it, but I am familiar with it. T. Parker's List, Suicide Squad. Did not see that. You got a few in there that I haven't talked about yet that we are going to discuss. Like to pretend the first Matrix is the only one. Yeah, you know. Hey, if people liked it, man, that I'm happy for them. I really am, because I'm one of the people. I'm one of those nuts that liked Halloween Kills, and we got a lot of hate from a lot of corners of the internet and other fan bases for liking Halloween Kills. It's not the popular thing to like that movie, so whatever. I liked it. Another one I want to talk about, and this is on T. Parker's list. Is which one? Well, you got a few on there, so we'll go. The first one we'll go with is obviously Spider-Man: No Way Home. I loved that movie. I really, really did. That movie was everything I could have wanted and more. God, such an experience. I mean, such an experience. The theater experience, the validation for me. I loved it. I loved it. I'm not going to get into spoiler territory, although I'm pretty sure if you want to see that movie, you've seen it by now. But it was such a good movie. I mean, it's such a good movie. I always struggle with the Marvel movies because I'm not into the lore and I haven't seen all these films. And so it's hard for me to keep track. And plus I'm not big into I don't know, some of the feel of some of their movies are very kid friendly, or very like jokey and not high stakes. And I was very, very surprised and happy with No Way Home being that finally. So, really, really liked it. That's another one. Ghostbusters Afterlife. I did not see that, Sean. That's a movie that I'm going to catch at home. And that's more or less because, I don't know what you guys think about this. And, if some of you have seen the movie and you liked it, that is awesome. But I always have felt like Ghostbusters was a product of its time. And that's not to say that new generations couldn't come along and enjoy Ghostbusters. No, the opposite, actually. I prefer that to happen. I just mean in the sense that Ghostbusters was what it was, I think, because it just came out at the right time. That 80s feel and cheese and flair is just throughout that movie. And I both movies really. And so I feel like it really succeeded for its time. It really was a product of that time. Whereas Ghostbusters Afterlife may be fantastic, and I see some of you guys, raving about it in the chat. It may be fantastic, but I just am speaking in the sense that I don't think it's ever going to be what it needs to be in pop culture again, for, to have the same kind of response, reaction, whatever it may be, as the first two movies. I just don't think in our current day and age that a new Ghostbusters movie is going to be able to come close to the hype and whatnot, and really just get people talking. A lot of people in our corner of the internet and of the world were excited for that movie, but I'm sure it's a hard sell for a lot of very casual moviegoers. So I digress. I hope it. I know it did fairly well. I know it's still out. I don't know if it's going to end up being profitable or not. That's a question. Um, I hope it is, and I hope that if it was good and you guys want more, that you get more. But I just feel like it works so well for its time. So yeah, there's that. Um, Trying to think of some other things that came out this year that I really really enjoyed. Uh, it's tailored toward fan service, but take out. Yeah, no, and I will see it. I will see it, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the first two movies. So if it is that way, then I'm sure I'll like it. Plus, I love Paul Rudd. Love Paul Rudd, the ageless wonder that is Paul Rudd, Tommy Doyle himself. Um, that's another one that I saw. That I saw on T. Parker's list. Tick, Tick, Boom is another movie that I really, really enjoyed from 2021. And I was quite surprised. Although I am a big fan of Andrew Garfield, I'm not a musical person. And the funny thing is, I used to be. I really did used to be. And I really liked that movie. I really did. I've been jamming the soundtrack in my car like every day. Dead serious. So that's another really good one. We'll get into some television too. Because there are some TV shows. I know one specifically that some of you guys are going to want to talk about. But yeah, we'll get into that. And then T. Parker mentions Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. I did not see it, and that is partially because I don't know what it was about the trailers that just didn't do much for me. And also, sue me, but I was a fan of the, what is it, Paul W.S. Anderson, I believe, films. I was up until the final few. I really liked the first one. I liked Apocalypse. I liked Extinction. Afterlife is when it started to kind of go downhill for me. But I was a fan of those movies, and I know that Welcome to Raccoon City was definitely more geared toward the fans of the video games. And believe it or not, Resident Evil 4, I used to play that game religiously on PlayStation 2 when I was a kid. So I'm very familiar with the video games and that kind of pocket of the Resident Evil fandom. But I don't know what it was about the trailers. It just didn't. I don't know if it was that damn song, a damn song in the trailer. I don't know what it was, but it just didn't get my ghost, Bob. You know what I mean? Just didn't get my ghost. Hey, what's up, Garrett? Yes, crying. We're going to be talking about Chucky once we get to television. FluffX, that's a great mention right there. Midnight Mass. I have heard rave reviews about Midnight Mass. It is simply just a matter of me getting my wife to sit down and start a new series, because that's always the problem. It's always the problem, getting her to have the attention span to watch a new series. But I've heard great things. Love Mike Flanagan. Loved both Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor. So I'm very, very excited to watch that as well. Yeah, I feel the same way, crying. Screw 2021. I'm ready for Scream. We are 2.5 weeks away. 2.5 weeks away. That's pretty crazy. That is crazy. Can we think about that for a second, guys? Can we put that in perspective? That we are 2.5 weeks away from a new Scream movie. The last time we saw Ghostface don the silver screen, grace the silver screen, I should say, was 2011, 2010? It was 11. It was 11. 2011. That's wild. Wes Craven died. You really thought it was never going to happen again. And once it finally did, it was going to be a remake. And by God, they're doing it. They're doing it. They are doing it. So I'm excited for that. Midnight Mass and Ghostbusters Afterlife were your faves. All right, that's high praise. That is high praise. Yes, Christian. Sounding good. This was a gift from Christian Hanahara for Christmas. This mic, and everybody seems to be liking it. Everybody's been liking it. Oh yeah. I'm gonna be going bananas seeing that movie. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But we'll talk about Scream here in 2 weeks on a live stream. So some other tops of 2021. What else do you guys have? What else do you guys have in your tops of 2021? What have I not mentioned yet? I made my list. I'm trying to remember just like off the top of my head, what are some other movies that I really, really enjoyed in 2021? Oh, the Fear Street movies. Now, full disclosure, I have not seen 1666 still. I'm dead serious. And there's really no reason for that because I liked the first two. I just haven't seen it. I really enjoyed those. I really enjoyed that nice little, like, almost like a mini series type feel, but, individual films. Um, yeah, I really liked it. I really liked the Fear Street movies. Yes, crying. Yes, this was a gift from Christian Hanahara. But all right, man. Well, thanks for stopping in here, buddy. But I really enjoyed the Fear Street movies. They're the things that I liked about Fear Street 94 were the the things, I guess I should say, the things 94 did well, I feel like 78 didn't do as well, and vice versa. I feel like blending those two movies together would have been a perfect movie. Perfect movie because where Fear Street 94 I thought did the practical effects and kills better than Fear Street 78. Fear Street 78 did the nostalgia and the setting and the feel and atmosphere better than 94, and so on and so forth. Um, you know, one friend group was tolerable, one friend group you didn't really care much for. It's just back and forth with each movie. Merge them. I guess you could just watch it as one movie anyway. Um, oh wow, T. Parker. The bread slicer alone, I could never put it in my bottom because the bread slicer alone, love that kill. Antlers. I haven't seen Antlers. That's another one that I need to check out. I was actually excited for that movie last year. And then, with all the delays and everything, it's just like the excitement and hype really died for it. Part of that also was because the marketing for it died. The marketing really dissipated to the point where it was like they got to the point where they just kind of dropped the movie. They were just kind of like, it's out. If you want to go see it, go see it. So yeah, T. Parker, you read my mind. That's the next movie I wanted to talk about. This is a movie I have a love-hate relationship with. Spiral from the Book of Saw. It's another 2021 film that came out, horror film that came out from a major franchise as well. And something, I got to tell you, the first time I watched it, I was like, it's okay. It wasn't bad. It seemed a little jumbled, very predictable. The second time I watched it, it was a little easier to follow, but my issues were still my issues. And those issues are, the predictability and the unoriginality at times. I don't know. I don't know. Thanks, crying. Thanks, man. No problem. I'll keep you up. No problem. Yeah, so did I. So did I, T. Parker. I wasn't surprised at all. All right. See you, Catman. Yeah, and that's kind of how I'm feeling now too. JDev is like I'm kind of disappointed by it. I'm kind of disappointed by it. Like, oh, everything all told, I feel like I'm kind of disappointed by it. It's a bummer. It's a bummer. But it's not bad. It's better than Jigsaw. It's better than Saw the Final Chapter. Hey, no problem, Catman. I'll be here. I'll be here in 2022 as well. Thank you for the support. Which, interestingly enough, you guys want to hear a scoop? I know about the new Saw movie. I've got a scoop. I've got a scoop. Yes, I've got a scoop. It's going to shock the world. I know where the next Saw movie is going. Yep. I got a guy who's a source that works in the industry that has proofread the script, and I have the newest script, and I have proof of that. And if you guys didn't know, you saw on Twitter, Josh Stolberg, the writer, he's one of the co-writers of a lot of the Saw movies. He's been talking about how they've been polishing the script, and and this and that. Well, they sent the script out to, I don't know, studio heads, whoever it may be, and some people have read it. And the next Saw film, as of right now, is going to be a film taking place between Saw 2 and Saw 3. That is true. It's going to take place between those two films. The time spent from the last time we saw John get his butt kicked to him on the hospital bed with cancer, filling in the gaps of that. And John Kramer, aka Tobin Bell, will be the main character and the main focus. And Tobin Bell has already agreed to come back. Now, here's the issue that I have with that. By the way, I think it sounds really cool. I really do think they need to go back to the roots here. Get the John Kramer, get that story going again and in different avenues. But my issue is, are they going to be able to make it? Because Spiral was not successful. I don't even know if it would have turned a profit, all told. Maybe it made 40 million worldwide, maybe on a $20 million budget. Normally they say rule of thumb is 2.5 times your budget to be profitable. So, we're probably looking at a movie that was maybe not a bomb, but it just kind of broke even or lost just a little bit of money, but it wasn't a huge gamble. And I feel like part of that was it didn't feel like a Saw film. It wasn't you couldn't market it like a Saw film because so many of your trademark Saw isms and things that are so identifiable with Saw just weren't there. So, yeah, I hope it gets made. I really do, because I do like the idea. I want to go back to some John Kramer, and I love some Saw. So I hope it gets made. So then let's talk about some other 2021 films that we enjoyed. We mentioned Spiral. I'm trying to think about how this year went, like release schedule wise, because everything's always Godzilla versus Kong. Loved Godzilla versus Kong. That definitely made it in my top 10 list. That movie's fantastic. I love that movie. I watched it again a few months ago on the airplane on my way to Hawaii because they had the TVs in the back of the seats and everything and headphones. Loved it. Love it. Still love it. Yeah, T. Parker, that's another one. And this is interesting because this is another movie that really ruffled some feathers and got a lot of people talking. The Conjuring 3. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. El Diablo. I really liked The Conjuring 3. I'm not going to lie. I really liked The Conjuring 3. Now, I will say, and you won't get argument from me here, I do think it's the weaker of the three. And I just feel like that's because the first two were, I think, genuinely scary. I think they were genuinely frightening at, in many ways at multiple different points throughout the film. I think the atmosphere was handled a little bit better. I think that the big bad, the villain, so to speak, was great in both of those movies, whether it be Valak or Bathsheba. James Wan just plays in that sandbox so well. So you kind of have to imagine that it's going to be good. But I just feel like I really dug The Conjuring 3. I really did. I was not somebody that was down on that movie. I know there was a lot of people down on that movie. And it's just, you're comparing it to gold. It's like silver compared to gold. Like, it's still really good. But like the two before it were like really good. So, but I really liked The Conjuring 3. I'm kind of upset that we haven't heard any word on a continuation, a Conjuring 4 or any kind of mainline Conjuring universe film since that movie came out. Because let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that movie still did over $200 million at the box office and was quite successful in the midst of the pandemic. So kudos to Warner Brothers. I mean, they that's one correct decision they made, even with that being on HBO Max, which I'm sorry, Warner Brothers, stop putting stuff on HBO Max. And I know that they actually are done. I believe The Matrix Resurrections was the last one that they had, like, they were contractually obligated to do or whatever. And, I think that's for the best. Look at what Spider-Man did. People are back to the movies. We're going to the movies again. We're taking precautions. We're doing what we're trying to get back to normal life. And so, if you want to put it on these streaming services after a few weeks, feel free. But these movies should be given at least a 21 to 28 day window of theater exclusive. Because, if you really want to see a movie, you'll make your way out to the theater to see that movie. You just will. Because I've literally, there's movies that I've wanted to see, but I haven't wanted to see bad enough to go to the theater this year. Last Night in Soho being one of them. There's movies that I really wanted to see, and I, wanted to see so bad enough that I made sure I was there opening night. The Conjuring 3. Let's see. Spider-Man, Godzilla vs. Kong. If it's a movie that I am hotly anticipating, Halloween Kills, I'm going to be there opening night, regardless. I'm going to be there. So, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, Sean, the action was awesome. Crying, there are precautions we can take. There are precautions. It's been almost 2 years, knock on wood. I've yet, there's wood right here. I've gone to the movies probably 24 times since all this began, and still Rona free. So, just be smart about it. Be cautious. Yeah, they're not dead. They've never been dead. That was a lazy take that, some outlets and news people wanted to run with, because I don't know. I don't know what you stand to gain from movie theaters being dead. God forbid we lose the movie theater experience, which is an incredible experience. Just think about some of the craziest theater experiences you have. The Star Wars The Force Awakens is still one of the craziest theater experiences I ever had. That place was nuts. Spider-Man No Way Home was a great experience. I just think about Revenge of the Sith in 2005 was a great experience, especially as a 10-year-old kid. That thing was insane. No, Sean, I agree. It's still useful. Absolutely. I just think that there should be a window first. Get 2 to 3 weeks, maximize your profits at the box office, maybe a month tops, and then drop it on streaming. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I mean, I don't know. Oh, and that's another one, Jason. Avengers Endgame. I didn't see that in theaters, but I'm sure that experience was incredible. God forbid we lose that. It's with some of these movies, they're just, it's an incredible experience. And I would hate to lose that experience. So the people that root against, the movie industry, with theaters and whatnot, with some of these websites that I see, it's just, what a weird flex. I mean, what a weird flex. Yeah, theaters are dead. Cool. What do you stand to gain from that? You must be super fun at parties. I don't know. Hey, it's all right crying. I know with the time difference, it's hard, but I appreciate you being in here for a good portion of this. Good luck with that 5 hours of sleep. I give myself about 6 every night. Try for 7. It never works. So Scream 2. Yeah, I didn't have the luxury of seeing that in theaters. I would have been 4. Yeah, I would have been 4. So yeah. But anyway, so kind of getting back to 2021 films, what are some other 2021 films that you guys have seen, that you really dug? Brooke, that's awesome. That's awesome. I think it's mine still too. I think that No Time to Die is definitely my favorite. I really thought Spider-Man was going to overtake it, and maybe it will. I've still only seen Spider-Man once. I'm going to see it again later this week in IMAX. So maybe that'll overtake it then, but I think it's still my number one. I watched it again last night, No Time to Die, and I'm like, you know what? This movie is freaking brilliance. It's brilliance. I see what you're getting at, Drew. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I know you're still typing, and I definitely agree with that. There are sometimes the hype of a movie and just the absolute insanity of the crowd and just the sheer volume and whatnot of the people and the hype they have for this movie can really ruin it. People just won't shut up. They won't sit down. Like, I get it. I totally get it. There were some reactions that I saw. Um, there's some reactions that I saw for No Way Home when certain characters appeared. I saw these theaters, everyone jumping and running and screaming, and I mean, it's insane. And I'm like, yeah, I'm excited too, but like, I kind of want to hear what they're saying. And like, for like 30 seconds, I can't hear shit because none of you will shut up or sit down. Um, but I feel the same way. It's all about getting lost in that world for me too. Um, and the audience can absolutely ruin that. You know, the audience can help your experience at times, and they can hurt your experience at times. You know, it's a gamble. It's absolutely a gamble. Um, I think that streaming should, in some way, shape, or form, always be involved moving forward. Um, but I still don't believe it should become. I don't think it should become king. You know, so to speak. Um, Yeah, I see. Let's see. Think of it like this: concerts or shows, they hold their applause. Okay, that see, that's kind of cool. Sign comes up in the theater. There's Toby. Clap. You know, like it might help. I mean, it really might help. You know, to get some people in line to not ruin the experience for others. Um, yeah, yeah, absolutely. No Way Home, No Time to Die. Uh, Yeah, see, here's the thing about my theater experience for No Way Home, T. Parker. I was surprised that it just wasn't what I thought. Um, you know, when the portal opened and you saw the first person, so to speak, you know what? Screw it. You guys have seen it by now if you wanted to see it, and it was Andrew. And you could tell it was Andrew in his suit. There was definitely some gasps and like little like oh like excited golf claps, people trying to be quiet. And it was the same way with Toby, but it wasn't this like rah, let's fucking go, like, you know what I mean. So I know I wanted it to go wild though. I'm not gonna lie, Sean. I did. I wanted my crowd to do that because I wanted to do it. I clapped both times. I don't give a shit if the people around me were or not. um 2021. Trying to think of some other. I enjoyed Venom: Let There Be Carnage quite a bit. That's a movie that I know is getting quite. It's a mixed bag for a lot of people. Some people say it's a perfect comic book film in the sense that it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's very on the nose. It's very fun. It's very to the point. But I agree with all those sentiments. But I really liked Venom: Let There Be Carnage. I thought it was a movie that knew what it was and did that well. So that's another movie I would put in my top of 2021. And that post credit scene or mid credit scene, I guess you should say, in Venom: Let There Be Carnage, that got an audible reaction from my theater. I had already unfortunately seen the leak. I hadn't seen the scene, but like I knew what it was. So I wasn't as like, oh my God, about as everybody else. But it got an audible reaction from my theater. So that was a good movie. I did enjoy that movie quite a bit too. Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing, man? I hope you had a great Christmas. Um, yeah, but here's my thing with Venom 2 and the first Venom as well. Tom Hardy and the symbiote, that relationship is just it's I eat it up. I mean, I eat it up. It's so organic and well done. Even if the movie around it is like, okay, this has got some holes, this has got some flaws, that relationship is just money, just dynamite money. Trying to think. So I guess we can go into some television now. We've talked a lot about we talked about a lot of the major releases of 2021 and the ones that I liked. Television wise, I really enjoyed Chucky, the TV series. I'm not going to lie. I really did. And I was surprised. To be honest with you, the last 2 episodes were probably some of my least favorite moments of Chucky, because you really started to get some of the Don Mancini-isms in there with throwing a lot at the wall and seeing what stuck. It didn't go too off the rails, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on it. He reeled himself in just enough to where it wasn't like Seed of Chucky crazy or Cult of Chucky crazy. But the last 2 episodes, you definitely started to really see the universe expand and got more of what you would come to expect in the later Chucky films. But I really enjoyed Chucky. For every good performance, though, there's a bad one. I liked, I thought the actress, Olivia Allen Lind, who played the role of Lexi, although you hate her for most of it, and then you're like, okay, you're kind of all right, I guess. I thought she did a really good job. I thought the kid that played Jake was hit and miss. I really thought his acting was hit and miss. I thought that Devon Sawa did a great job. I thought that Jennifer Tilly was okay. I love Jennifer Tilly. She's a beautiful woman, even in her 60s. But I don't know. I don't know what it is about the character. If it's too hammed up for me at this point, if it's overdone with her, I don't know what it is. But it wasn't bad. Her inclusion wasn't bad. I thought what you got. I thought what you got with Fiona Dourif was great. I thought she did a great job. No Way Home is going to make more money than Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Eternals combined. Yeah. Goes to show you the power of nostalgia, guys. Everybody's like, oh, Marvel's geniuses. They make all this money. Spoiler alert. This is a Sony movie. They own Spider-Man. They get 75% of the returns from this movie, and Andrew and Toby are their characters. So this movie wouldn't have been possible without Sony. So we're not giving the dub to Marvel here. It's going to Sony. Listen to us, Sony, and put Andrew Garfield in the Venom and Morbius universe. Thank you. That is it. Yeah, and I can kind of see that too, Brooke. I can kind of see that too. It does seem like at times Jennifer Tilly is very invested in the role, and at times it's like reading off a page for sure. Yeah, I'm excited for Morbius as well, Sean. I really am. So Chucky but overall, I thought it was good. I thought it was a step up from Cult of Chucky, absolutely. But I, however, thought that Curse of Chucky is probably the best Child's Play film since Child's Play 2. Really. I mean, I love that film. I don't know, just my opinion. But, I really like Chucky overall. I'm excited to see a second season. I did not walk away from that thinking that was a waste of time. You, season 3. Loved You season 3. I love that show. I've eaten up every season of that show. I'm very happy that they renewed it for a 4th season. I look forward to watching that. So You season 3 was great. What's some other television you guys saw? Yeah, and I get that too, Sean. I get that too. But in today's day and age, you just can't keep these things a secret. You really can't. Not something that big. These scoopers, there are people that they rely on. It's their job. It's their job to get these scoops. It's how they get money. It's how they get attention. It's how they get notoriety. So they're just going to take the scoopiest of scoops and they're going to throw it at you. Did you watch I Know What You Did Last Summer? Awful. No. I watched the trailer and I was like, that looks like shit. And I'm just going to say right now, I Know What You Did Last Summer is a very niche movie. Okay. That's not a movie that has the type of following as Halloween, Friday the 13th, or even a Scream or Saw. It was good for its time. Not a lot of people nowadays, are huge I Know What You Did Last Summer fans. Not a lot of people nowadays, when you mention it, or just 90s horror in general, are going to go to think of that, which is crazy to me because I when I first saw it in the late 90s, early 2000s, I loved that movie and I still really enjoy I Know What You Did Last Summer. But my God, That trailer looked like dog shit. I mean, it looked so bad. I just feel like an Amazon series of I Know What You Did Last Summer with, at least from the trailer, did not look to have any connective tissue from the source material. I was just like, this is a waste of my time. Mixing various studio properties you can't buy anywhere. Dude, don't threaten me with a good time, Drew. Don't. David, hey man, I haven't seen you in here in weeks, and your comment tells me why. Congratulations. You guys had your next kid, baby girl. I did not know about that. That is awesome, man. That is awesome. Congrats. I hope mom and baby are doing very well. How is fatherhood for a second time? How is she doing? How are you happy? How's everything going? Did you guys enjoy Christmas? Nice to see you, man. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so Cobra Kai, Yellow Jackets. Yeah, I haven't watched that, but a lot of people are talking about Yellow Jackets. A lot of people are talking about that. So maybe I'll go get around to that. But yeah. So as far as, but man, yeah, I don't want to rant too much on I Know What You Did Last Summer, but I was like, my God. Well, funny thing is, T. Parker, I liked the first half of Double Feature because it's the only half I've still seen up to this point. So don't spoil the second half for me. But yeah, the first half, first 5 episodes, I really enjoyed. So I guess I'm excited to watch the last 2. But yeah, God, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Amazon TV series. What the? Shut up. I had muted myself. Very strong and healthy. Christmas wasn't too bad. I celebrate. Hey, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. I'm glad to hear that. Very glad to hear that. Why don't we talk about some duds? Let's end this off on the duds of 2021. What are some bad movies of 2021? I guess the segue, that's a perfect segue. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Perfect segue into, let's talk about some shit. Let's talk about some poopy poop. What was some poop of 2021 for you guys? I will let you know right off the bat, I almost intentionally avoid movies or TV shows that I think look bad because I'm like, I'm not wasting my time. I'm not going to waste an hour and a half, 2 hours of my life watching something that I can just look at the trailer and go, nah. And I know trailers can be misleading sometimes, but let me tell you something. Usually if they're misleading, it's in the sense of the trailer looks okay, and then the movie ends up being great, or the trailer looks great and the movie's like, eh. Rarely do you get a trailer that looks like shit and then the final product is actually great. So normally you should read the writing on the wall and be like, oh, that looks bad. Scream being a disaster. I don't think it will be. I am cautiously optimistic here. The series finale of Shameless was awful. I have not watched the last 3 episodes of the final season. But I know that they did not bring back Fiona, for the last episode, and I just think that's terrible. Absolutely terrible for you to not bring her back for even just, a little bit in the last episode. It's just absolutely awful. Space Jam 2. A lot of people saying Space Jam 2. I did not see Space Jam 2. Love LeBron James. I love LeBron James. I really do. But that movie looked terrible. So, never needed a sequel. Christian Hanahara says Scream 5 is going to be great. I'm calling it. Yeah, Christian, I think I'm in that camp with you. I genuinely believe I'm expecting to like Scream 5 more than I liked Halloween Kills. And I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for that. I just think it's gonna be good. I really think it's gonna be good. I do. I really think it's gonna be good. So I'm excited for that. And I hope you guys are too. Let's smile. Let's be excited for it. It's gonna be great. I mean, we've got 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks. And then I'm sure Christian and I are going to do, what after it comes out, I'm sure we're going to do an episode on the podcast about it. So, you know, oh, well, yeah, you better text that to me, Christian, because I need to know that. But yes, I'm sure we'll cover it on the podcast. Maybe we'll just do the Scream movies right after Scream 5 comes out, capitalize on the hoopla that everyone's talking about Scream, and we'll just talk about all 5 movies, whatever it is. But Bobby, sadly, I think you're kind of right. I do. I think you're kind of right. As much as I love Blumhouse, them with these big horror properties, it's like almost kind of like, yeah, just stay away from that one. You're better when you do original movies. Blumhouse excels. They shine when they do original content. I feel like when they get a very popular brand, or they've made an original thing into a very popular brand, I feel like it eventually in turn ends up being, they try too hard. They overthink it. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's just bad. I don't know. Where do you think the Scream? Oh, okay. First of all, hey Wes, how you doing? Both of our football teams suck. And I'll be there Monday night in Pittsburgh for Ben's last home game. I bought tickets because I said, you know what? I don't care if we suck. It's probably his last home game. I'm going to be there. Hope you're doing well, man. And where do I think it'll go from here? Dude, that is the question of the day, isn't it? I mean, that really is the question of the day. I have no idea. I feel like, I will say this. I think that the easiest thing to say is that if this movie is critically and commercially unsuccessful, I think it's done until there's a remake 15 years from now. I think it's done. If it is critically panned but commercially successful, I think we're getting another one. And Tyler and Matt, the directors of this movie, have already said they basically have more films mapped out. They didn't come on to this hoping that it only be a one film deal, So I'm going to assume that they're hoping that it's financially successful, because at the end of the day, money talks. This movie could bomb with critics. Rob Zombie's Halloween, for example, but make a shitload of money. Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's going to get a sequel. At the end of the day, critics can kick rocks. I will say I think it's going to be successful, because when it comes out, Spider-Man will have been out for a month. So you're going to see the hype for that will pretty much be gone at that point. If you've wanted to see that movie, you will have seen it. You will have seen it multiple times, I'm sure, at that point. And then there's nothing to compete with it until 2 weeks later when Morbius comes out. So Scream's going to get 2 full weeks of box office stardom. I'm going to call it right here, guys. I'm going to call it right here on this stream. By the way, leave a like on the stream if you have not already. Greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And Rudy, if you're watching this on the live, on the playback, we missed you in here, my friend. I'm going to call it right now. I want to know what your guys' predictions are for Scream 5. I want to know what you're thinking box office wise. Oh my God, it was, Mike. It was, and putting it on HBO Max, like Warner Brothers was like, we don't give a shit if we don't make money. And the funny thing is, Resurrection's budget isn't even included on Wikipedia. So I'm going to say this movie's going to take a loss. T. Parker, I'm going to tell you this. Well, hold on. Before we address that, let's prediction for Scream. How is Scream going to do? I believe that Scream 5 cream. I think it's going to open with an opening weekend of about 35 million domestically. 30, 35. And I think you're going to see the movie putter out domestically at about 90 to 100. I think it's going to do 20 to 30 internationally. So I think we're talking about a $120 to $140 million worldwide gross when it's all said and done. That's what I think. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. If somebody can pull up the number, I guess I could pull it up on my computer. But Let me know if you guys have it at your fingertips. I think that the budget is 15 or 20 mil. So I think if you pull in over 100 million on that budget, yeah, we're getting another movie. We're getting another movie for sure. Scream 4, I believe, only made like 90 million or something like that. If memory serves, maybe it was even less. So yeah, I'm gonna say anywhere from 120 to 140 worldwide when it's all said and done. 180 to 200 million, 80 to 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. That is quite. I hope so. See, here's the thing, Brooke, and this is another good point. Scream will do Candyman numbers. I think Scream's going to do better. I was using this. My line of thinking was I was using Candyman and Halloween Kills in thinking about where this movie's going to land. Halloween Kills opened up with 50. Candyman opened up with 24, 25 million, if memory serves. Scream is more popular than Candyman. Not as popular as Halloween. Meet around the middle, 35 range. I think that's where it's going to open. I really do. I think it's going to open right around there. 35 mil domestic. Guys, you have to understand that is a very good opening weekend for an R-rated horror film. It just is. That's a very good opening weekend. The filmmakers are going to take that all day and twice on Sunday. I mean, yeah, that is a very good opening weekend. Do you think they will hand the movie sequels and try to? Hope not. Because although there are some redeeming qualities about the first 2 seasons of that show, there's also some really big misfires in the first 2 seasons. And then that 3rd season was garbage. And T. Parker, you're right, man. You're right. I definitely could see it with the Rotten Tomatoes score. These guys, Scream is a very smart franchise. It's very classy for a horror franchise in the sense that it's not schlock and I don't know. There's more substance to it. So yeah, I'm confident in that. Do you think that? But yes, Wes. To answer your question, I don't know. What do you think? What route would you want him to go? I think I'd want to keep it on the silver screen. Nothing like seeing these icons. I don't know, on the silver screen. Nothing kind of compares to that for me. But another thing you said, T. Parker, about Morbius not doing very well. I'm just gonna say there are rumors circulating that they may or may not have shot something with Andrew Garfield for Morbius. I don't know. Do I believe it? Like I said, don't quote me on this because I don't know if I believe it. I think it's the right route to go, but was Sony smart enough to do that before No Way Home came out? I don't know. But I'll tell you what. I think that if that is true, if there is connective tissue there, and they lean into that in the final marketing push, I think Morbius is a movie that's going to do 60 to 70 million domestic opening weekend for sure. I say Morbius will be. Yes, I agree. It's going to be successful, not as much as Venom for sure. What was your favorite physical release of 2021? Man, I'm biased. I'm biased here. You already know probably where I'm going with this. It's the Halloween 4Ks. Those were just so cool, man. It would have been cooler if we would have got the other ones too on 4K. Word is that is coming next year from Scream Factory. Also, can I tell you guys a secret? That Nightmare on Elm Street box set is coming. It's coming. I'm telling you it's coming. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, it was probably the 4Ks. Yeah, that was so cool. I don't know. I was a sucker for that. I mean, shit, I bought them. I pre-ordered them 2 months in advance, so obviously I was a damn sucker for it. So yeah, but if I had to pick a favorite one out of them, it's probably 5. Actually, it's probably Halloween 5 because I loved the gore reel that we got to see that was cut out of the movie that we had never seen. I always heard about Danielle getting stabbed in the leg by that knife and that being the original intention. I finally got to see it. I finally got to see the Dr. Death opening And the movie, The Transfer, was so good for a movie that, looked kind of made for TV when you watch it on DVD. But I really, really was happy with Halloween 5's presentation. Really. More or less, Brooke. I can't, I'm not allowed to, well, out of respect to the people, you guys will know something soon. Something will be said soon. I would say fall is probably when you can expect the box set. The box set for Nightmare on Elm Street, probably fall. Have you gotten your Scream 5 ticket yet? Got mine I did not yet, because I looked, and interestingly enough, JDev said the same thing, and it's really not popping off. It's really not, which I don't know how to take that. And we'll see. I hope that doesn't bode poorly for how the film does. But yeah, I look to see, like, do I need to buy it yet? Are they, flying off like hotcakes like the Spider-Man tickets were? And they're not. They've sold some for opening night, absolutely, but they're not like, oh my God, we're about to be out. So I was like, I'll wait a little bit more. But yeah. Cool. Good talk, guys. This was a good talk. It's a good talk with all of you. Justin had texted me, let me know that he wasn't going to be able to make it, but we were already kind of knee deep in this. So I just wanted to keep the train rolling. I really appreciate you guys being in here tonight. Like I said, 2021 gave us a lot of good TV and movies, and I'm very, very appreciative of that. Happy to see that movie theaters aren't dead. Happy to see that some original horror icons still have a place in this world. And so, very, very excited for the future. 2022 is going to be great. Hey, much love to you, Mike. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for being in here, my friend. Love you. And so I'm very excited for that. But yeah, that's going to do it. We're going to wrap up. We're going to shut her off at the 1 hour and 15-minute mark. I'm going to do my obligatory plea. If you guys have not checked me out on Patreon, it's the best way to support the channel. And if you are a patron, when we record the You Need a Horror podcast episodes, which we are recording an episode this Thursday night with the legendary Piz Owl again. Yes, he will be on Unita this week. If you are a patron of mine, you get the link to watch us do the live recording days before the video goes up on YouTube, which is probably the coolest perk I offer, because I try to do more patron uploads, but sometimes it's hard. I am doing one this evening, though. So if you're a patron, be on the lookout for that. It's $1 a month. It's the best way to support me and the channel. And yeah, that's my obligatory plea there. And if you want to go behind the scenes of the You Need a Horror podcast every week with Christian and I, well, Patreon's where to do it. Follow me on social media if you haven't already. Instagram, The Lost River Drive-In. Twitter, The Lost River DR1. And that's going to do it for me. This is Nick at The Lost River Drive-In, and I am saying so long. If I do not see you before the new year, have a happy new year. Stick to your resolutions. Just kidding, because we never do. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. And this is Nick at The Lost River Drive-In, and I am pulling out, my friends. Goodbye. Wow. It wasn't over. Goodbye.